one of our newest products. It's done very well for us, I think, partly because it's combining a lot of the aspects of our other equipment into a newer package. It has the feedback control of the germanium, but I also added bias to that. So on the same control, you're changing the negative feedback and the bias of the Class A amp. And most people have commented it's like having a color knob on board, more so even than the germanium feedback control, because it's changing both parameters. So it'll change the frequency response. It changes the clipping a lot, like it will start to round off the top or bottom of the sine wave depending on which way you have it. It's not a distortion pedal, but it does get pretty close to that at some points. You can make things sound softer or more aggressive, or you can get kind of an over-biased, kind of high voltage kind of sound going. And very effective. I've had a lot of guys say, oh, finally I have control of the color on something, you know, more or less. The way I tend to use it is standard operation would be in the middle, actually. And then as you're going up and down, you're over or under biasing at that point, and also changing the feedback. So some of my favorite uses, again, like the germanium, I like the feedback quite low and the preamp driven very hard. This one more so than any of our preamps, the harder you drive it, the more it changes the sound. The TG2, people know that for driving it hard, and the germanium as well, but this one does it even more. And then you also have an output control, like the germanium doesn't have it because of the type of design it doesn't really allow for it without changing the sound a little bit. But on this one, you can more easily drive both controls or use high amounts of gain and then back it out going to tape. Another thing I really wanted to include on here was a balanced line. It has the unbalanced DI, but you can also switch the mic pre input to line input, the transformer changes. So you can actually very easily use it on any source you want, whether you want to put it over your stereo bus even, which a lot of people do with our other pre's to color the sound. But on this one, it's easier. You just go to line input, and then you have all the controls there at a more manageable level, and a slightly different sound because you're at line level. A very effective part of the unit. Some other things you have, high and low impedance. There's a low cut, a bright switch, DI, phase, 48 volt, some of the standard units. But if I had to pick any of our units, this would be my favorite. I like how it colors. It has a really firm, kind of big Class A sound to it that's not dull, it's not too bright. I've had a lot of comments about it being very well balanced. And it has all the sounds that you would hopefully expect from one of our units. I think this combines all of that into my favorite package, I'm excited about it if you can't tell. So I'd say give that a try if you're interested in a Chandler piece, but thank you.